Hi, I'm Jim Hodge, pastor of Aldersgate United Methodist Church in Grand Rapids. Welcome to this episode of Sequestered Spirituality. This time of seclusion, this time of being away, this time of fear and anxiety has helped me, at least, to understand with new appreciation the tools that I have to make it through every day, to keep working and doing the best I can at my job, and to find new ways of relating, new ways of being a grandfather, new ways of being the church. We all have tools that we can use. We all have gifts and graces that God has given us. And sometimes the circumstances we find ourselves in, the context in which we're in, challenges us to see those tools in a new light. Or to take a note or two from those who have come before us and fashion some new tools. That's what I want to show you today, only it has to do with my avocation, woodworking. This is my table saw. It's not much, it's not a top-of-the-line deal, but it's still very dangerous and you have to be very careful, otherwise you could severely injure yourself. Now on this saw, I cut wood. Sometimes when I'm trying to do or make a segmented bowl, I have to cut wood at certain angles, or if I'm putting up a bookshelf or something, I want to make sure that that cut is a specific 90-degree angle. And how do you do that on a table saw? Well, of course, each table saw should have a fence, which is something you can stack right up next to the blade and then gauge the width or the length of the cut, depending on what type of the board you're going to be using. But that's not always accurate. So I've fashioned some tools to help me with very specific kinds of cuts on this table saw. Let me show them to you now. This is called a table saw sled. And what this allows me to do is cut a board at a perfect 90-degree angle each time. So the blade comes up through this slit here, and I mark where the board needs to be cut and just slide it forward. It also helps keep my hands away from the blade. This tool is called a 360-degree sled. It's still a sled. It still moves back and forth on the blade, but this one allows me to make angles in a lot of different directions. And it's even got a spacer on it right here, so that I can cut things to a certain length and keep cutting them at that very same length. This tool is especially helpful for making segments for bowl turning or segmented bowls. You can see on the face of this tool there is a protractor which gives very exact designations of angles. So if I wanted to cut a 12-sided bowl, all I need to do is know the angle, and I could move this arm to that angle, set the sled in place, affix the stock to the arm, and away we go. This tool is very helpful in making those very precise cuts. So when you think of your own talents, your own tools, whether it's for your hobby, like woodworking, or for your church, like being hospitable, or teaching, or leading, what is it you notice at this time? Especially at this time, when we're called to be more than we usually are, when we're called to be different because the context is different. What tools stand out for you in this moment of sequestration? Are you the type of person who likes to make the straight cut, the 90-degree cut, the once in and once done kind of thing that just keep doing that straight cut? Or are you someone who's a little bit more free and adventurous and likes the whole gamut of degrees, the 360? Let me move around for Christ. Let me do some things that I've never tried before. Or are you someone who is, well, more apt to want to be very precise in what they do, perhaps even a perfectionist, to get that angle just right? Well, I'm here to tell you, whether it's wood or faith, what we're called to do in Christ is to use the resources and the talents that we have to make them something beautiful. Whether it's a bowl or whether it's a new disciple. We're called to make disciples. And we all, each and every one of us, in some way, have the tools to do that.